Hi, I'm Diane Sweeney, and this video introduces how to use the rubric for student-centered coaching. And this rubric is a big picture success criteria that really frames what does it look like when student-centered coaching is done really well. And it's bigger than just specific moves you make as a coach, like engaging in coaching cycles or using student work. While that's certainly embedded, the rubric for student-centered coaching gives a bigger picture. It includes 7 domains, which we really believe add up to highly effective coaching. For example, one of the domains is, maintain a learning stance. That's super important to be an effective coach. Another is around engaging in reflective dialogue. That's important to be an effective coach. Another domain is around systems and developing those systems so that you have really a good sense of structure for your work, so you're doing the right work. So each of those 7 domains gives you a nice big picture when you put them all together into what it means to be an effective coach. So of course you can't really think about working on all these 7 domains at once. It would just be too much. So how we use the rubric involves kind of 3 different things. The first way that we can use this rubric is for goal setting, for the coach to engage in kind of thinking through what's the work that they want to focus on, how do they want to develop, what's a goal for their own work, a professional learning goal. And so oftentimes this means that the coach would choose one area and think about how to focus on that. And that would really depend on where they are in their tenure as a coach. So if you're new to coaching, you might pick the first domain. And if you're more experienced, you might be picking a different domain. So it's up to you where you go with your work, as long as you have a focus for your own improvement as a coach. So goal setting is a really great way to use this rubric. A second way we can use this rubric is to think about evaluation throughout a system. And so when we say evaluation of a coach, we mean that this helps align evaluation practices and processes with what we see as effective coaching. So oftentimes we find that districts have a rubric or an evaluation tool for their coaches that doesn't align with student-centered coaching. And so we'll oftentimes work with them to help them get those things to talk to one another. So for example, we'd want to see emphasis on engaging in coaching cycles if we're evaluating a coach, because that's a driving practice for us. And if we're using some other tool, it might not even mention coaching cycles. So this can really help become the district's evaluation tool for coaches. And you can see how it really works nicely if the coaches have engaged in goal setting with this tool. Then it suits the evaluation practices and processes quite well. Also then, you'd want to give the coach feedback. So it's very hard to give feedback if a coach isn't focused on one thing. So when a coach sets a goal, when this rubric is used as the tool for evaluating coaching, then a principal or district leader is in a much better position to give that coach very specific feedback that moves them to a very highly effective space of being a coach in a school. The last way we can use this tool, and I think this is one of the most important, is to drive professional learning for coaches. So a coach can articulate their goals, a team of coaches can articulate their goals. And then whoever is supporting that team can use that success criteria or those learning targets to figure out what work needs to be done. What evidence can coaches be bringing to their professional learning sessions that really frames their work and gives them a chance to reflect and build on what they're already doing. So sometimes it's hard for leaders to think of what does a coach need, What does a team of coaches need when it comes to their professional learning, especially because they're so highly effective usually? And oftentimes we'll give them a lot of PD on things that aren't coaching specific. We'll give them PD on that new reading program the district just bought, or other things, trauma-informed schools. All of this is important, but they also need PD on how to be a great coach. So this can be a guide for that. I hope that was helpful and that you have new ways to think about using the rubric for student-centered coaching. Thanks.